morning. I'm going to continue on with the Hackett document with John Ray conducting the questions, and yesterday we discovered that he was lying and just generally not. He was very vague, and the reason why he phoned Shannon Gilbert's mother, I still don't understand where he tries to get himself involved, but I'll read the deposition and then I'm going to read the synopsis after. I'll be honest, I might read it tonight and start tonight. I am grateful for the person who asked to look at this, because I do like reading court depositions rather than what the police say, you know. Not that I'm against authority, but in this case, police haven't been doing their job, have they? So, yes, I will continue from 100, and I'm going to do 100 pages more. It's not, if you're not into deep diving into why Hackett did what he said, that he medicated Shannon, he's going to get into it after this now, I think. I have read this all before to myself, but this was, I didn't think anybody would be keen on knowing, but I'll be honest, there's a lot of questions out there about what exactly human is about. There's organisations that I've discovered, you know, in the past that exist, you know. So I'll talk about that another time, but I'm just going to talk about the deposition. I'm going to be translate. Well, actually, I'm just reading what's there, okay? I'm not cutting anything out, okay? So it has tedious times in it. So if you're impatient, this isn't the channel for you. You've got to be patient with information like this and keep to the facts, what we have. And this is his own words, Peter Hackett's own words. And he's not doing very well in this deposition at all. And I think there's a lot to be said about these lie detectors. They apparently both passed a lie detector, but the police haven't commented on that, so I don't think that's true. I don't believe it until I see it, you know. There's not many channels out there that do this type of thing. So if you're interested in this, stick around, maybe subscribe, like. But I'm interested in everybody's opinion, comments on my, if you have a different opinion, that's fine, you know. Don't be rude to people. That's all I ask for. Okay, babes, let's go. Okay. Following up with me about calling the Jersey City Police, checking on Shannon's telephone status. And that's it. This is what his reply was. Question: why did you pick that particular number? Answer: that's the only number I had for her. Question: how did you have that number? It was given to me by Mr. Diaz. When did Mr. Diaz give you that number? Answer: in our first meeting. Whose first meeting? On our first meeting on interruption. Question: who is our? Answer: continuing on Monday the 3rd. Oh my word. Question: whose first meeting? On our first meeting on. I have to go back a bit because it jumbles again. Who is our? Continuing on Monday the 3rd of some Mr. Pack and Mr. Diaz and myself. Question, is that the first time you met Mr. Diaz? Absolutely. Question, are you certain of that? Absolutely. Question, did you ever meet Mr. Diaz at the gate and the entrance of the community? Yes or no? I did. Question, when? On the 3rd of May. Shannon went missing on the 1st of May, by the way. Question, was he with Pac or was he alone? Answer, with Pac. Question, other than Mr. Diaz at the gate with Pac on the 3rd, did you ever previously meet Mr. Diaz at the gate? Absolutely not. Question, if he were to say that happened, that would be a lie. Mr. O'Rourke, argumentative, don't answer. Come on, John. Answer, are you waiting for me to respond? Mr. O'Rourke, no. Question, I am. Mr. O'Rourke, there is no answer. There is no question. Mr. Ray, you can't instruct him not to answer. Mr. O'Rourke, oh yes I can. When you tell me, would it be a lie? You cannot do that, John. It's argumentative. Don't answer. Witness, I won't. Mr. Ray, let the record reflect the repeated direction of counsel for the witness not to answer the question. Mr. O'Rourke, to a question like that, yes. It sounds suspicious as hell, to be honest. Mr. Ray, if you do it one more time, I'm going to seek sanctions against you. Mr. O'Rourke, be my guest, bring it on. Bit rude. Mr. Ray, I will. Mr. O'Rourke, do what you've got to do. Mr. Ray, absolutely right. Question, can I have that? Handing a document to Mr. Ray. It's pretty difficult to read this, pretty small. Question, at the time before you made the phone call to Marie Gilbert on the 3rd of 2010 that you told us about, had you called Mary Gilbert? Answer, no. You certain of that? Mr. O'Rourke, objection to form. You may answer. Answer, prior to May 3rd, yes sir. Answer, absolutely not, I didn't. Don't believe him. And his record say something else. Charles Hackett. Oh, sorry. Mr. O'Rourke. I don't know what that means. Mr. Ray, you cannot do that. You can't go ut while he is talking. I'm going to seek sanctions against you if you keep this kind of coaching up. This is a disgrace. Mr. O'Rourke, please, did you read the transcript? Mr. Ray, cut it out. Mr. O'Rourke, you cut it out. Bloody hell. Ask questions that are legally permissible. Witness, it's my fault, I'm sorry. Question, at any time before you called Mary Gilbert on the 3rd of May 2010, had she called you? Answer, no. Question, at the time before you called Mary Gilbert on the 3rd of 2010, had you called Sherry Gilbert? Answer, absolutely not. Mr. O'Rourke, may he see his notes? Mr. Ray, no, he may not. Witness, did you say the 3rd again? Mr. Ray, counsel has slammed his hands upon his chair and shook his head. It's a form of coaching. Again, he shouldn't do it. I'm going to ask you to stop doing it. He's having a hard time, isn't he? Question. Now, when it is When is the first time that you called Sherry Gilbert? Answer, I don't have a recollection of calling Sherry Gilbert. Question, you never called her? Answer, I know that. No, I don't believe I did. Question, did she ever call you, other than the one time you told us about on May 9th? No. Question, at any time before you called Mary Gilbert on the 3rd of 2010, had you called Michael Pack? Answer, no. Question, had he called you in the same period? The answer was no. Question, at any time after you had called Mary Gilbert on the 3rd, 2010, had you called Michael Pack? I have no recollection. Question, had he called you at any time after Mary Gilbert called you, or you called Mary Gilbert rather than the 3rd May? Answer, I do not recall. Question, did you ever speak to Michael Pack on the phone? Answer, I do not recall. Question, would any of your notes, your notebook, refresh your recollection as whether or not you ever spoke to Mr. Pack? Answer, no, they wasn't. But if you want me to review my notes, I can do that quickly to make sure I'm not missing something. Question, by the way, doctor, where is McMaster University? Answer, I never heard of it. Question, you never heard of it? Did you ever indicate to anybody that you're a graduate of McMaster University in Montreal? Probably lied about I was a doctoring as well. Answer, no. Question, in your website? Answer, I don't know. I don't have a website. Liar. Question, in any form of telecommunication, did you ever indicate to anybody that you went to McMaster University in Montreal? Absolutely not. Question, that never happened. Answer, no. Mr. Ray, we'll mark this as plaintiff's 10. Whereupon the above referred to documents, health grade 7 pages, was marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 10 for identification as of this date. Question, do you see that document, doctor, which comes under health grades? Answer, yes, sir. Question, that's you, sir, isn't it? He was referring to Dr. Hackett, Sir SRDO. Answer, that is. Question, indicating family practice, male, 57, graduate in 1979 from McMaster University. Do you see that? Answer, I do. Question, how did that get there, sir? I have no idea. Question, did you create this document? I did not. Question, did you give information to create this? Sorry. You have to go back up here for it, you see. I'm on to 606, is it? Okay. Absolutely no. That never happened. Answer, no. Mr. Ray will mark. Okay, I've read that bit, have I? Yep. 07. Answer, I did not. Question, is that your address to the right of that map there on this first page? Answer, it is. Question, go to the second page of it, that please. Answer, witness complying. Question, do you see where it shows how to contact you? Answer, yes. Question, are those your numbers? Answer, yeah. Question, do you see above that where it also shows you went to McMaster's University? It's like saying Hustlers University. Answer, I do. Question, did you give that information to this? Mr. O'Rourke, objection, answered and asked. He can say it one more time. Question, on the second page. Mr. O'Rourke, same thing. Question, did you give the information to anyone? Answer, never. Mr. Ray, it's 2 o'clock. I need a little time. Coffee and donuts. Okay. Mr. O'Rourke, why don't we wait until it comes? Mr. Ray, are you going to knock? I don't understand. Hang on. Mr. O'Rourke, we're going to finish today. Mr. Ray, we're not finishing today. Mr. O'Rourke, we're done. Mr. Ray, no, you are not going to cut me off because your objections keep going on. We're not finishing today. Mr. O'Rourke, keep moving. Mr. Ray, we're not finishing today. Mr. O'Rourke, we're finishing today. Mr. Ray, we are not. Mr. O'Rourke, you'll be making motions. Mr. Ray, stalling us with all your objections that are speaking objections on the record at length. Mr. O'Rourke, did you read your transcript? Mr. Ray is Mr. Ray, continuing is not going to cause me to lose my opportunity to examine this man. You're not going to do it. Simple as that. Mr. O'Rourke, march on, John. Question, how Dr. Hackett, on April 30th, 2010, you were living at that address you've given to us. Is that right? That's correct. Where were you on that date? Home. Question, where were you? Were you home all day on the 30th of April 2010? Answer, I may have left to run some errands. Question, do you know whether you did or not? No. Question, how do you know you were home that day? Answer, I know I woke up in bed. I know that we were preparing to leave the next week to go across country. I know we were doing things to get ready for a party we were having the following week. That's what I recall. Question, that was a Friday. Mr. O'Rourke, objection. Oh, where's the objection to the date? Sorry. Question, sorry, Saturday. Mr. O'Rourke, 30th of April is a Friday into Saturday. Mr. Ray, thank you. Question, 30th of May was a Friday, right? Mr. O'Rourke, let's not play a guessing game, John. You have your phone there. Take a look at the calendar. Answer, the 30th onto the 1st, I was at home. Mr. O'Rourke, he's asking, is April 30th a Friday? Question, actually it's a Saturday. Answer, it's a Saturday into Sunday. Question, is that at the time in April of 2010, were you practicing doctor? Answer, I had. No. Question, had you retired? Yes. Question, when had you retired? In 2009. Question, had you retired, did you make a formal announcement of that or something? Answer, my heart stopped and I was unable to You retired sometime after your heart gave out, is that correct? Answer: no, I retired and I just kept my license. I have been keeping my license, hoping that someday I might go back to some form of medicine. Question: during that period, and only going to be asking you now, from the time your heart gave out in the summer of 2009 until April of 30th, 2010, where did you work at the North Shore Hospital? What part? Answer: Plainview. Question: was that an emergency room? Answer: no, it was a house doctor. Okay. Question: what does that mean? Answer: I'm sorry, they call it a hospitalist today. A doctor who manages patients or other doctors who are in their offices seeking patients. Question: were you paid for that? I was. Question: were you on a salary? Answer: I was. Question: was it a per diem basis or something? A per diem. I don't know what that is. I'll look it up. By the day. Smart fella, John Rainey. Question: how many days did you work per diem in that period of time I asked you about, more or less? Half a dozen. Question: had you made an application to the hospital in order to work there? Answer: I have. I did. Question: do you have a copy of that? Answer: no. Question: in April of 2010, did you work at all at North Shore Hospital that you told us about? Answer: absolutely no. He lies a lot, doesn't he? Question: when is the last time you had worked in North Shore Hospital before April 30th, 2010? Answer: sometime back around 2001. Question: I'm asking you between the time your heart gave out in the summer of 2009. Answer: right. Question continuing. Until April 30th, 2010. Answer: yes. Question: when was the last time you worked at North Shore Hospital? Answer: 2001. Well, that's like 9 years off, isn't it? Question: you told us before that you worked at North Shore Hospital after your heart gave out. Question: answer: sorry, that's right. Question: that's in April 2009 your heart gave out. Answer: I'm sorry, I said 2009. I got my numbers mixed up. It was 1999 that my heart gave out. Question: so it was after the summer of 1999 that you had retired, is that a fact? Answer: yes. Question: what hospital, if any, had you worked at from January 1st, 2010 until April 30th, 2010? Answer: 2010. Question: you said you from 2010 to 2010. Weirdo. Question: January 1st, 2010. He's plain stupid. Until April 30th, 2010. What hospital, if any, had you worked at? Answer: none. Well, we saw that one coming, didn't we? Question, what employment did you have in that same period of time I had just mentioned? Answer, none. Question, when is the last time before January 1st, 2010 that you had actual employment as a doctor? Answer, at the North Shore Hospital back in 2001. So that's 2 years after his heart gave out, so he worked for 2 years there. Question, did you have any patients at all between 2001 when you worked at North Shore Hospital and in April 30th, 2010? Answer, yes, an occasional friend from the beach who either had an emergency or a boo-boo or wanted me to look at them and tell them whether they needed to go to an emergency room or not. Question, anything other than where you had patients during that same period of time I asked you? Answer, yes, I took care of a couple of friends who were treated at other places, and then I took care of their palliative care. Question, when did you say other places? What other places? Answer, they were seen at Memorial Sloan Kettering, and when it was time for them to pass away, they wanted to pass away at home. And having known me for a long time, they asked if I would look after them during the period of time. Scary to think this man's a doctor. You see, these people come in all forms. They could be doctors, teachers, you know, all kinds. These psychopaths go through, yeah. He's just got that look in his eyes as well. I mean, I'm not judging him, but I wouldn't trust him as my doctor, you know. Was one of them Oak Beach? Question. Answer, yes. Who was that? Answer, I can't give information. O'Rourke. Objection. Question. He's dead. Mr. O'Rourke, he cannot reveal. Get court order. We're happy to answer the question. Mr. Ray, he's already dead. You don't have to have that protection. Mr. O'Rourke, we maintain it. Mr. Ray, I know who he is. Question, when you say palliative care, what do you mean by that? Answer, just doing the minimal amount of care to keep the person comfortable and keep them, you know, breathing and keep them able to talk with their loved ones as much as possible. And most importantly, just making sure that the pain from the metastatic disease or complications from their illness don't become, you know, a horror to both the patient and the family. Question, was that work done at your home? Answer, never. Question, how about the couple of friends? Did you treat them at home at all? In your home in Oak Beach? Answer, I may have. One or two. Most of sorry. Question, most of your what? Go ahead, finish. Answer, most of the time people call me because they can get me faster than an ambulance. So if someone is having a heart attack, something like that, I would go over and do what I could until the ambulance got there. Question, whose would be people from Oak Beach? Yes. Question, when you say you talked about treating people for minor things like a boo-boo, I think you said, and the like. Was that treatment also at Oak Beach? Answer, it was. Question, was that out of your home? Answer, it may have been one or two, yeah. Question, did you ever retouch fingers in your home? I've sewn up fingers in my home. Question, did you ever retouch fingers in your home? No. Question, did you ever tell Elizabeth Moore from Newsday that you reattach fingers in your home? Answer, I can explain. Mr. O'Rourke intervenes at this point. Listen to the question. Answer, continuing, no, I didn't. Question, you never said that? Answer, I'm familiar with the article. Question, you are? Answer, yes. Question, in that article, it was said that you reattached fingers on the table in your home. Am I correct? Answer, you are. There's something very bizarre going on here. Question, is that accurate? Answer, no. Hang on. Well, you know what I mean? It's just admitted it. Question, you never said that. Answer, no. I explained to her what. Mr. O'Rourke intervenes. Objection, answered and asked. Question, tell us what you explained to her. Answer, I explained to her the sewing up of a flap on the end of a finger, and she extended it to reattaching fingers. I can believe that. Question, did you ever tell employees in Suffolk County that you reattach fingers in your home? Hang on a minute. So he's telling more than one person here. Answer, I have no recollection of that. I wondered if some of these victims had no fingers and things like that. Answer, I have no recollection of that. Question, did you ever tell Mrs. Moore that you treated her patients on a table in your home? Answer, yes. Question, in fact, did you tell her that you actually had your home constructed so that your kitchen table would also serve as an operating table? Answer, I had my kitchen table constructed so that in an emergency I could treat someone on it. Question, as an operating table, correct? Answer, no, as an emergency table. What type of kick is he getting out speaking about his part in this case? I mean, I do feel he's in this. But you see, the police can't just charge people with that, you know. So it went to a civil court, and he was charged with, like, lying, basically, about Shannon. Answer, no, it's an emergency table just to be able to resuscitate someone, take a foreign body out of the airway, whatever was necessary. But that was many years before the years we are speaking about. Question, when you say you constructed or had at the table, I wonder if human made it. Answer, the table was at the right length and height that in an emergency you can put a person while waiting for an ambulance on it and treat the person with first aid kit. Question, did you tell her that it was an examining table? Answer, I may have. Question, did you ever treat Joe Scalise for anything? Mr. O'Rourke, don't answer that. He cannot speak about patients or patient care individuals. He can say he's a patient. You know, he's only asking. Mr. Ray, I didn't ask him what he treated him for. I asked if he treated. Mr. O'Rourke, it doesn't matter. You know the Hippocratic violation. Now stop. Question, did you ever tell Miss Moore that you were involved in flight 800 wreckage? Answer, yes. What did you tell her? I don't recall. Question, you said you were familiar with the article. Do you remember just saying that? Answer, yes. I told her that I was involved with the emergency medication and hyperbaric medicine on shore during the emergency. Question, what else did you tell her besides that? I don't recall. Question, did you tell her how you were involved? I don't recall. Question, did you tell her that you were lowered onto the deck of a yacht in flight 800 catastrophe? Answer, I don't recall. You said you were familiar with the article. Do you remember just saying that? Answer, yes. I told her that I was involved with the emergency medicine. I'll just read this again. Oh, hang on. He said that he was on a yacht and all the rest of this business, didn't he? I had to pause then to answer the phone to Miss Lister, sorry. I've lost my place. Question. Well, take a look at this and see if this refreshes your recollection. Mr. Ray, this would be Plaintiff's 11, an article from Newsday dated November 1997, whereupon the above referred document Newsday article dated 1997, 4 pages, was marked of Plaintiff's Exhibit 11 for identification as of this date. Question, handing the document to the witness. Answer, the witness perusing a document. Question, for the record, go to page 3 of Plaintiff's 11, a Newsday article. Answer, right. Question, continuing the third paragraph down. Answer, witness perusing a document. I wasn't flown out to this boat. This boat was right off a dock that some people lowered me down onto. Just, I have a letter from, I'll leave it at that. Question, you have a letter from who? A letter from Mrs. Moore, apologising for the statements made as unfounded in that. Question, do you have the letter? I do. Question, I'll ask you to produce it for us, please. Document requested. Mr. O'Rourke, we'll take it under advisement. Answer, will be a pleasure, says Mr. Hackett. Question, were you lowered onto the deck of yacht in flight 800 disaster? Answer, right along in the morgue area, yes. Question, in the morgue area? Answer, yes. Question, what about out on the water? Were you lowered on deck of the yacht? Question, answer, there were no yachts. Question, were you lowered onto the deck of a boat? Answer, there were no, well, there were some boats, but not in my view. Mr. O'Rourke, listen to the question. Answer, continuing, no. Question, did you ever go from the deck of a yacht and swim through oil-slicked ocean during that disaster? Answer, no. Did you ever tell anybody you did that? Answer, I don't believe so. Question, why do you say you don't believe so? Answer, no. Question, did you ever tell that to Mrs. Moore? Answer, no. Question, sir, can you tell me what's inaccurate about her article under paragraph 3 in Plaintiff 11? Handing the document to the witness. Answer, witness perusing a document. I wasn't flown by Coast Guard to 800 wreckage, lowered onto the deck of the yacht. That did. Occur, but that was at Morgside, and fuel slipped ocean. That was recovering things along the burn, of the beach. It had nothing to do with going offshore. That's it. Question. So when you say that's it, was along the bar of the beach? Answer. Burn. Just from my vehicle, I went down, waded into the water and did whatever I had to do. Question. When you went from your vehicle to the wade into the water and do whatever you had to do, what did you have to do? Answer. Just pick up pieces of debris and put it in my country vehicle and bring it back to the, what do you call it, to the collection area. Answer. Where was the collection area? Answer. At that point it was. We were stacking things at the Coast Guard station in Mauritius. Question. Was there a time that charged to another location? Answer. Calverton. Answer. Question. That was up in Calverton where the airport is. Answer. I believe so. Question. The debris you were picking up, was that human body parts? Answer. I believe the seat that I was picking up did turn out to have body parts in it. Question. A seat? You said. Answer. A seat. Question. Did you pick up anything besides a seat? Answer. No. What body parts were in the seat? I didn't do a necropsy. I assumed were fingers because that's what usually ends up happening. Question. How would you know that? How would you know that how it usually ends up happening? Question. Answer. Being an emergency physician, being an EMS director, and having been involved in doing emergency work and taking courses in forensic medicine, etc., etc. Question. Had you ever examined flight wreckage before flight 800? Answer. Not in the water. Question. Where? Answer. When I was younger. Oh, for God's sake, leave me alone. I apologise for that. Yeah. My solicitor trying to engage with me over this house and it's fallen to bits. Okay. Back on it. Had you ever examined flight wreckage before flight 800? Answer. Not in water. Where? Answer. When I was younger, it was a flight that ran just briefly, a flight that ran off the end of TKA, ran off the end of around the 70s, ran off. God, he stutters a lot more than I do. The end of the runway at Kennedy Airport. Question. You were not a doctor then, were you? Answer. No. Question. Were you involved in that? Answer. I just stopped to see if I could help, and there was no help to be had. Question. Were people killed in that? Yes. Question. Did you see their bodies? Yes. Question. Do you know the date of that incident? Oh, God, fuck off. Sorry, hang on a minute. I've got to read that.